New at 6, the Children's Museum of Pittsburgh is laying off more than 100 workers and doesn't plan to reopen until next year. All of this follows the release of an open letter from museum staff detailing what they claim to be a hostile and sometimes racist work environment.
This is about a continued pattern of discrimination, of injustices, of indifference that we see in context of Black employees.
Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca spoke to the man behind the letter and has the museum's response.
With pools in and around our city closed for the summer because of COVID and restaurants only allowing a certain number of people inside. Many may think to come to the Children's Museum is something to do with your families, but you can't. It's closed until January 2021 and just laid off dozens of employees. The Children's Museum of Pittsburgh has shut its doors for the next 5 months because of COVID-19, based on the most recent restrictions on indoor gatherings, plus the priority of keeping visitors safe.
She does like to go to the Children's Museum, and then it'll just make it harder for when it does get colder. There's not going to be anything inside for the kids to do.
With the announcement of the closure, they've also made the decision to permanently let go of furloughed employees. William Tolliver Jr. was one of them who found out via email.
It was impersonal. It said, "Hi, friend." It gave a little update about COVID and then went on to continue to say that it's with our deepest regret to inform you that your position is one that is being terminated.
Some of the biggest concerns, obviously, are that kids can't come here to the museum and play, and also that so many employees were laid off. But some of those employees are saying that the biggest concern is the fact that there were so many racial disparities inside the museum. It was all detailed in an open letter to the museum after the employees were let go.
We see the leadership team prioritizing projects that center white children, white families, white schools, white communities, rather than centering the experiences of Black children, Black families, Black employees.
The museum wrote their own letter back, saying in part, "We are reminded of our ongoing commitments to listening and improving. However, we are also disheartened to see so many inaccuracies, unattributed quotes, false claims, and misleading statements. No matter what may have happened behind the doors of the museum before COVID, the public won't be allowed back inside for months."
It's kind of messed up for everybody. For the kids, for the employees, just for, for everyone.
Museum officials say they are collaborating with several other organizations to have the safest reopening plan. When we know what that is, we'll be sure to let you know. Reporting from the Children's Museum, Gabriella DeLuca, Channel 11 News.
And we wanted to know how Pittsburgh's other museums have been doing since reopening earlier this summer, and we got this response from the CEO of Visit Pittsburgh. Other museums are continuing to adhere to occupancy and health and safety guidelines, and most have a lot of space to work with. We're hopeful they can all remain open, and we haven't heard anything to the contrary.